Namo Tassa. Today there was a post about Sayaji Ubakin, who was talking about Vipassana and how the benefits can come with proper understanding and proper practice. And he was saying something about that things would come automatically. And that's one thing I explain to many people, and actually it is something that's really hard for most, because that's the notion that with doing the least you will get the most. And that's very counterintuitive, especially in this society of hyperactivity and everything hyper, and ADD and ADHD and everything, and OCD and stuff. So I tell people, don't try to force things, of course. Don't try to look and to seek something specifically, and don't try to provoke things. Just like Goenka mentions playing the game of sensations. When you are scanning your body with Vipassana and you just observe naturally, right? So if there are sensations, then you observe the sensation for what it is. If there are no sensation, that's it. You move on. You can stay for a while to check, but you move on. And then ultimately, sometimes the mind, being typically tricky, sometimes it will try to find a sensation, really, or almost make up one in one way. So the thing is that in this world, again, people are very ego-based with a lot of intellect, as many people study, and then we have access to so much information, and of course a lot of people read everything online and read the Dhamma. So again, that is a typical thing that might become a hindrance when there is too much intellect involved. And again, the ego, the conceited ego that thinks that it knows enough or has the means to know enough, and not see the general ignorance. So then people precondition themselves and their mind to the things that they seek or that they want to find or experience. And that becomes, of course, an hindrance, a barrier, an obstacle on the path, because everything, as we know, is about letting go. And you practice either Anapana, the observation of the breath, or Vipassana, and scanning the body or observing sensations or whatever. Everything has to be done, again, with the paramount best quality, which is upekkha, equanimity. So you have to just be there, aware, and observe equanimously whatever is there. And being the most equanimous possible, which means the most let go as you can be of anything, which means definitely the least involvement of the mind, the classic mind, the monkey mind, that likes to think so much and is really looking for something. And as soon as there's something, then it jumps into that hyperactivity, or what was that? What was that about? Where does that come from? Could that be related to this or that? All of that. And that's totally the wrong direction, of course, and that's totally the opposite of proper Vipassana and what will get you to the goal. Because the goal at the end, and any really deep, serious experience, will show up only naturally when you do the least, when you're the most relaxed, which is also the other word that we use for like samatha. when the mind is really relaxed, at peace, but focused with awareness or one-pointedness, but no intellect involved, not much thinking, overthinking, reflecting on whatever, not seeking, then you have to let things come naturally at the right moment when it's meant to be, and not seek to find this or experience that. That is the really main thing. And it's, of course, actually what is really hard for people. When people say it's hard to meditate, and basically the main word, of course, that people use is that I cannot calm my mind. My mind is not enough calm to meditate. First of all, the practice of meditation is to help you calm the mind when you practice regularly. And then, yes, exactly, that confirms what this is all about, that people have a too hyperactive mind in this world, glued to devices with constant information everywhere, and constant solicitation, and constant need for attention and everything. And the big conceited ego that likes to think that people know already enough, have an opinion on everything, or they have so much information, and that they have the means to understand at once what's going on, which is basically so much wrong assumptions, because, again, the base of the proper understanding through Vipassana is that we come from ignorance, no matter whatever studies you have done, and no matter how many diplomas, school, university diplomas you have, whatever, that doesn't matter. Too much intellect is counterproductive on the path to produce the proper benefits, which will come only when you have the proper let go that way, the very relaxed mind, only being present, focused, aware, observing objectively things for what they are, equanimously, and that's it. And if you can do that, actually, you can be really, really relaxed with equanimity. That's when the proper, significant, meaningful experiences will come up naturally, automatically. And that's the main point, to let them show up whenever it's meant, and that way. And not look for something, and not try to provoke anything or force anything to come, to show up for the sake of experiencing whatever you have read about, heard about, or whatever your mind is seeking. So again, very simple, always the most simple, unfortunately the most difficult for most. Just being aware, relaxed, with a focused mind, totally equanimous with whatever happens, and then let things come naturally when they are meant to, and then they will come. But only if you can have that proper mindset